Glasgow, Scotland's biggest city, is full of stories. Historic buildings, lively streets, accents that twist and turn. For generations, it's been a place where people from all over the world arrive chasing something new. Right in the heart of this cultural hub sits Glasgow Caledonian University, known as the University for the Common Good. I'm Anthony, a master's student here at Glasgow Caledonian University. I came here with a suitcase full of dreams and questions, not just about academics, but about what it really means to adapt to an entirely new life. Every year, hundreds of international students make this same leap, stepping into unfamiliar cultures, systems, and sometimes entirely new languages. While the excitement is real, so too are the confusion, the homesickness, and the relentless search for belonging. In trying to make sense of my own journey, I discovered Berry's acculturation theory. It describes 4 ways people adapt when entering a new culture. What struck me is that adaptation isn't one straight path. It's messy, it shifts. One day feels like a honeymoon, the next like you're starting from scratch. But somewhere in between, you start building something new, not just surviving, but truly growing. That's what this documentary explores. The real, unfiltered stories of 5 international students at GCU. They share their backgrounds, their reasons for moving, and expectations, their lived experiences, their personal growth, and their hopes for the future. This is a documentary on the cultural adaptation of international students at Glasgow Caledonian University.
Ready?
Absolutely, sure.
Camera rolling. 3, 2, 1. Action.
Back in Nigeria, I am, or shall I say was, a digital media and content creation, professional. I used to work with authors, and I've done a lot of work with small businesses as well, helping them, promote their businesses and all of that.
Before the move, I was 4-year student doing my LLB, working on my final dissertation, to having a dream to being a solicitor.
Basically, before moving here, I was just this teenager in a small town in the south of Italy with a lot of dreams. I was attending language high school as I was always passionate about other languages and about other cultures.
I was involved in so many things, like doing my internships, doing different diplomas, just to explore my expertise and which one is I am best in.
Life before coming to GCU for me, while I was in Nigeria, I used to run 2 businesses, and I was a part-time lecturer as well. I taught people German as a foreign language, and that was quite fun. It was creative. I haven't been able to explore my creative side since I got here anyways, but life back home was very creative. I had a community of creatives that we would meet every week and, share ideas and rub minds.
The decision to study abroad is never simple. It's a massive leap of faith that requires leaving everything familiar behind.
So I first heard of GCU through the agent I worked with, because at first I didn't know the processes on how to get admission and, directly to come to the UK. I've tried a number of times on my own. So for 3-4 years applying to get a scholarship, but it did not work out. So when I worked with a particular agent who helped me to be able to do the right things, she actually told me about GCU. She talked about the affordability of the tuition. She talked about the niceness of the school. She talked about how calm and easy Scotland and Glasgow would be. And I got intrigued and was like, wow, why not? Let me try it.
So I think my story will be quite different from everybody other student who came to UK and who applied from the country of residence and had a big dream to study at the United Kingdom. But I'm keen here to do my master's because I was living in Ukraine and the war happened.
Russian president says a military operation is now underway in eastern Ukraine.
The full-scale invasion that intelligence officials had been warning about for weeks is now underway, and there are reports of explosions and attacks at several major Ukrainian cities.
Everything around you tell you that there is kind of one day you just maybe don't wake up. And that's it, and you want to have a future.
Sometimes cultural adaptation isn't a choice we make. It's a necessity forced upon us by circumstances beyond our control.
In 2017, I did a project with my high school and I spent 3 weeks in Edinburgh. I fell in love with the place. I've always wanted to go to university abroad. So when I moved there for these 3 weeks, I was astonished by the beauty of the city and by how nice people were. When choosing my university path, considered Scotland as the first choice and the only choice actually.
Before coming here, I always knew I wanted to do my master's. I just knew it was a matter of when it's right. So when I saw Glasgow Caledonian University and then I saw the course, I felt it was like the perfect course for me.
I heard about GCU from my father because he was so into our educations and especially for higher level education. So it was his dream to see his children in foreign universities doing their masters or PhDs or things like that. So he suggested me GCU for my master's in digital media and content creation.
There's always this picture in your head when you're going somewhere new. You spend hours online researching, planning, trying to imagine what your life will be like in this unfamiliar place.
I didn't expect a lot, to be honest, because I knew that gonna be a tough way and path to get to do my master's degree that I didn't do in the end because I decided to swap.
I'm coming here, so regardless of what happens, I was willing to just enjoy the process. So for me, it was a time of exploration, a time to believe that anything is possible.
Before I moved here, I just had this big dream of succeeding in life, but I felt like in the town I was a bit suffocated because it was a very small town where everyone knew everyone. So I just wanted something different for myself, and that's why I moved here.
There's a lot of videos I used to watch from this girl called Barbara, that's an Italian girl living in Scotland, to prepare myself for what was coming.
There she is.
I used to watch all of her videos because she was speaking about how life in campus is and how to apply to university. So I used to follow all of her videos to make sure that I was really, really prepared for my experience here. And I actually met her a couple of years ago in a bar here in Glasgow, and I just turned around to her and I was like, you helped me so much.
The expectation I was having back there is to come here and become a better person.
Oh, my family was so scared of me going because when I was coming to UK, I didn't know anybody and I didn't have where to stay basically. My family was quite against that, but my friends was really supportive. In that way, they're like, well, if you're not gonna take the risk, you just will never know.
It was a not very easy transition, I would say. One of my biggest fears, to lose contact with the people back home, to lose that sort of sense of belonging to my hometown and to my country.
So one of the biggest challenges I experienced coming to GCU, not GCU, Scotland, in fact, traveling from home, was where I was going to stay. Each time I talk about this, I get emotional as well because while I was coming, I was speaking with the person I was working with, like, okay, where am I going to stay? I remember talking with a mentor and she was like, okay, maybe we can get a student accommodation for you, or maybe we can get an Airbnb for you to just stay for the period before you move into the hostel. I shared that with the agent and she was like, oh, there's someone here in Scotland that I can link you up with. How about we get in to talk to that person? And when I came, the arrangement was for me to now stay in the house. Although I was told I'm going to stay in a place that might not be very comfortable, I was like, oh, why not? Just 4 days, I can manage that. And I arrived, and where I now eventually stayed was the sitting room. And in that sitting room, where I had to sleep was the couch, and I was paying like £100 per week. Later, I got to realize that I was being exploited. It was crazy, but for me, I felt grateful because that person accommodated me to stay for that period. But later, I began to realize that, oh, there have been better options if I had to go. So I left there and moved to the hostel, had experiences which are also very good. One of the greatest shock I've experienced here is the weather. It's too cold. Scotland, Glasgow, too cold, more than what I expected. Came here, always in sweaters, no opportunity to actually show your fine clothes. Everything is just so tight and buckled up. But then it was quite good as well.
When I came to UK, I didn't know where I'm gonna stay, who I'm gonna be with, because I had no information. So I was just left the airport, and I met a few volunteers in there, and they helped me around. And then I met the Scottish family, who basically were my hosts for 2.5 years. And they helped me a lot with accommodations. They teach me a lot about the culture in the UK, and especially about Scottish culture. They aware me about a lot of where the thing that you can have 4 seasons in one day, and I experienced that in here. My first day in Glasgow, I came for a prescription to get my glasses. And the guy who opened the door, I still don't know what he told me. I couldn't get any word. And I was like, is that it?
I would say that in terms of expectations, I was expecting this really, really big city where, let's say, I wouldn't find the same people twice in the street if I was walking down the street. I came to realize it's not really like that. It's a smaller reality than what a place like London could be. There's more of a sense of family and community here. And everyone is so warm. I remember the second day that I was here, I was walking out the road, I was lost. I'm always lost without my Google Maps. And there was this woman that came to me, and she was like, you look like you're lost. Do you need help? And I have never experienced that level of availability from someone, that like sense of being looked after that Glasgow and in general Scotland has given me.
So when I got here, to be honest, the first 24 hours, ideally you would think that the first 24 hours here, like I would want to like walk around, explore places, see my new environment. But honestly, it wasn't like that for me. The first 24 hours, I spent it sleeping because I was so tired. I was really, really tired. And the next day, I came into uni for my documentation because I came a bit late, like a week later. So I came into the uni for my documentation and everything.
When I landed in Glasgow, I felt like I am in another world, and it actually gave me a vibe of being in foreign country. But it's somehow similar to the northern part of Pakistan, because everywhere it's so green, it's so fresh, the bright sky and the bright day and a warm breeze, cold breeze, not warm. I really like it when I landed here.
Here's the thing about expectations. Reality has a way of surprising you. The Glasgow weather hits differently when you're living in it every day. The accents, the social dynamics, the way people interact, everything feels foreign. But here's what's amazing. Within these struggles, real resilience starts to grow. Glasgow isn't just Scotland's largest city. It's packed with rich cultural heritage and iconic landmarks. As part of my own adaptation process, I made sure to explore these historic places myself, including the famous Kelvingrove Art Gallery and Museum right in the heart of the city. I learned that adapting isn't just about getting comfortable in lecture halls, it's about discovering the cultural soul of your new home.
Another very serious shock I've experienced is in the culture. Yeah, back in Nigeria, there's a lot of things you will see that are not publicly accepted. But coming to Glasgow, coming to the UK, I've seen a number of things that ordinarily would have been very shocking and make me to withdraw. But the environment has helped me to know that, okay, this is what's acceptable here, this is what the people do here, and this is what the norm is here. And sometimes I find myself, falling short, thinking about where I'm coming from and weighing it to where I currently am. But then growth and mental resilience has helped me to see that, though you were from a different culture, you are now in a new culture, and you have to adapt and adopt whatever is here.
Cultural adaptation often involves navigating sensitive topics that participants may not feel comfortable discussing openly. Differences in social acceptance that highlight the complex realities of moving between vastly different cultural contexts.
I would say that some things are not as I expected them to be. It's really hard when you come into a place where a completely different language is spoken and you feel sometimes as an outsider. I would say that I was lucky a couple years ago to find a job with a lot of international people, but slowly that job was not giving me what I wanted. So I now moved into a job where everyone around me is a local. So there's been times where you don't get the jokes, you feel a bit like an outsider, and it's really hard to connect with people. And I remember a university colleague in my undergrad that has told me Scottish people are nicer to foreign people rather than Scottish people. But in terms of building long-lasting relationship, you'll always feel like an outsider. You'll never 100% feel like you're home. And that's what I've encountered. That's what's been really hard for me. In terms also of job opportunities, it's a bit harder when you're a foreigner, I would say, to find the right opportunity for you. From my experience, 6 years of being here, it does kind of feel sometimes you might have all the qualifications that are needed, but the language barrier is really important, I would say.
Getting a job is one of the hardest things I have seen here. In one of the modules we're doing now, they say you have to be resilient, you have to be resilient. To what extent, how much resilience do I have to keep on taking? Getting a job is one of the hardest things I have seen here.
First cultural shock I got, they call you very politely in a particular way, like, hey darling, hey baby, hey like sweetie, and things like that. It is a huge cultural shock for me, because back in Pakistan, if you call someone darling, baby, sweetheart, sweetie, definitely you are looking for a fight. So that's how I felt extremely shocked and amazed as well. And secondly, the medical system, I thought that UK is very advanced in all these things, so might be UK have very high level of medical system, but it was not that was what I was expected, but it was not actually the same, because I was suffering with so many issues and I was trying to reach doctor or consultant, but it was very hard to reach them.
Sorry. Should we pause right now?
I'm fine.
Sometimes the most basic needs, like accessing medical care, can remind you just how far you are from everything familiar.
As much as I have met people who were not from my country, spoken with people who were not from my country, from Europe and from America, it was still a bit difficult for me to adapt to the way English was spoken here.
Whenever I try to talk with some Scottish or British, I felt like I get 30% of what they are talking about, and the rest of 70% I was like, huh? What?
What you read in the books when you studied English abroad is different from when you came to the United Kingdom. The culture is not about tea, the double-decker buses, and proper Royal English. It's friendly people, absolutely different English, which you, like from Liverpool, it's one, in Manchester it's another, and in Glasgow it's absolutely not English.
In classes, the lecturers have tried their best to communicate properly. At least their accent is understandable to me and a few other people who I've actually experienced these conversations with.
I feel like the time where I felt the most seen was through one of my university friends. Her name is Nina. She was with me throughout my undergrad. She was from Greece, so we were both outsiders in Glasgow. So she really made a difference for me. There was times where I was feeling really alone and I had no one to go to, and she ended up being like the person that I would go to with all of my problems, all of my insecurities, even regarding the place that I was living in. So she really made a difference.
When it was time to select the class rep, I think that was the moment where I felt seen, because it was more like a point where we were asked who was willing to take that up. At first, I did not want to succumb to it, but one of my classmates, who's also a Nigerian, just for some reasons, just pointed at me and said, this guy should be the class rep. We've just met for the first time. We've not had any conversation at all on that. And then when she pointed at to say, this guy should be the class rep, I knew it was something that I could do. And I said, okay, why not? And that was the first step for me. That helped me to go into a leadership position. I've had a number of positions before where I was able to lead people, but this was very different because it's in a new culture, a new environment, meeting new people.
The person who actually saved me and make me to survive this place and the accents and all these things, it was one of my class fellow, Seth Thomas. There are others as well, but the Seth Thomas was the first person who interact with me and guide me that you are a brave person and you have this potential that you can do anything at any time and at any moment in any situation.
Primarily, I think the fact that I was very involved in a lot of things when I got here really helped my integration into the society in GCU and in Scotland generally. Another big influence in making my integration here quite easy is the fact that I have family here. My cousins are here, my auntie and my uncle are here. So I still have that sense of I'm home, away from home. So it made it a bit easier, a lot easier to be honest. It made it a lot easier. And I keep in touch with my immediate family a lot. Like we have, at least if we don't talk during the week, we have every Sunday. As much as I've like integrated into the society, into the environment relatively, of course there are things I miss from home. I miss my family. Those are like the biggest set of people I've missed. Food. Well, I don't think I miss any food from home.
While institutional perspectives on student support weren't captured in this research, the lived experiences of these students reveal what support really looks like on the ground.
GCU make me feel like that I am actually for this university. I am made for this university because the environment is so welcoming and every single person I met here, they make me feel this way that GCU is actually for me. They are 24/7 ready to help you, to make out things for you and everything. So it makes me feel that GCU is for me.
University can really, really help when it comes to feeling alone and in terms of what the services that the university provides in terms of mental health. I would say I probably should have taken advantage of that more. I was really scared. It was something that I'm not really used to, speaking aloud about your emotions and how you feel in terms of school. So if I were to go back, I would definitely take advantage of that more because the university offers a lot of support in terms of mental health. It's really important for them.
For many international students, adaptation means exploring beyond just their university city. My own journey included traveling across England, visiting family in Manchester, understanding that building connections throughout my new country was all part of figuring out where I fit in this new world. As I made my way to Manchester, I found myself reflecting on the stories I'd been collecting. The participants I'd interviewed had all described similar feelings: the uncertainty of new places, the challenge of maintaining connections while building new ones. I realized their experiences weren't just academic subjects to study, but human realities I was living myself. This journey to Manchester became more than just a personal visit. It was fieldwork in motion, helping me understand the very cultural navigation processes I was documenting in others. As I explored England and prepared to make my way back to Glasgow, I found myself reflecting on Berry's acculturation theory in relation to my participants' stories. My time away had given me fresh perspective on what I'd been documenting. According to Berry, there are 4 ways people adapt to new cultures. Assimilation, completely adopting the new culture while abandoning their own. Separation, maintaining only their original culture and rejecting the new. Marginalization, losing connection to both cultures. And integration, successfully balancing both the old and the new. Returning to Glasgow, I was eager to examine how my participants had navigated these different pathways. Which strategies had they adopted in their adaptation to Glasgow? How had these choices shaped their personal growth and cultural identity? The stories I'd collected were about to reveal something remarkable.
Scottish culture is lovely. It's so, the people here makes you feel home, makes you feel safe, and they're so friendly and so charming in a way. So you will meet just absolutely stranger on a traffic light and you will stop chatting to them. And when I came first to UK, I was a stranger, people who talking to me like, you okay, where are you from? Because probably I was looking like I'm lost, I'm completely lost. But now I'm the person sometimes who just are standing on the traffic light and just chatting with a stranger about the rubbish weather. So I think that's the part of the Scottish culture that actually I love.
So GCU has been very helpful. This is where I have come, and this is why I'm here. I have tried my best to focus a lot on my academics. All the tutors have been very helpful. Our module leaders, our lecturers, they've been very resourceful as well, very open to give you feedback where necessary. I've had experiences with a number of my lecturers one-on-one, have conversations, and even my fellow classmates. It's been a very free-flow conversation and very fantastic experiences. We planned a number of trips, but some of them did not actually work out, and that's fine.
If I met the first version of myself that arrived in Glasgow, I would definitely say experience more now, because you think that you're gonna be here for a couple of years and you're gonna have the time to do what you wanted to do, but at the end of the day you get so caught up in your commitments in terms of university, and then when you find a job it makes it a lot harder to explore. So definitely if I had the Carolina of 5 years ago, I would say go out more, explore more, just try to meet people from more backgrounds and just experience things on a deeper level.
So I'm graduating this summer and I am so excited because I have put in the work and I'm so happy and proud of myself. The fact that I came into this new environment, found a community of my own, found people whom their values align with mine, made friends, excelled in my academics, I am so proud of myself.
Greeting every single person with smile and saying sorry, thank you, and giving some sweet gestures, like I already said, that saying thank you darling, hi baby, and all these things. So I think that part is now living inside me, because when I am try to talk with anyone back in Pakistan, I literally say these words and they were like, you are changed a lot.
So I've definitely realized how emotional I am in terms of letting people go, welcome new people in. It's hard when you're far away from home to keep everyone happy and everyone together. So there's a lot of people that have left me, unfortunately, people that I was relying on to because I was too far away, and that just shows you that when people are far away from you, they might forget about you, and that's something that really has hurted me in some of my previous friendships or my previous relationships. But at the end of the day, I think that I've met so many amazing people here that I cannot be more thankful for. People that have shown me that you can have a family when you're far away and you don't need to change in order to be loved.
These stories reveal the heart of integration. Yes, there are losses along the way. Distance changes relationships, and some friendships don't survive the miles. But there are also discoveries. New connections form. Scottish warmth becomes part of who you are, and you realize you're not the same person who first arrived. Having walked this path themselves, these students now have something invaluable to offer. Wisdom for those about to begin their own journey of cultural adaptation.
If I have one advice for someone who is coming into UK and coming into GCU to learn and start a new journey, it's the same advice I would give to myself if I could meet myself before coming here, is to keep an open mind. Just take each day as it comes. And don't put yourself under too much pressure, really. Also, most important thing is take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way.
Just enjoy the flow. You are here for a reason. Focus on why you've come. You've come to GCU to study. Stay on it. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the people. Make friends. For your courseworks, start early. Put in your heart to it. The areas I know I've been able to grow even the most will be intellectually, emotionally, in fact, and spiritually as well, because you are in a new place. You have to be very prepared for everything that comes.
Be scared, that's normal. That's absolutely fine. Just trust your gut feeling. And ask people for help. That's the main thing. Just if you need something, if it's a silly thing, you don't know how some things, just ask.
If there is an international student from Pakistan who want to come here, I would say them think before you move. That's what I want to say them, that if they are able to go with all type of varieties, like the up down, the weather, the accents, and all things, because I saw a lot of students, a lot of people from Pakistan who are like, oh my god, we are stressing, we are depressing, and they even fell because of all these things. So I think I must say them that you have to build some kind of power inside them, that you are moving to some place and you need to stay strong.
The journey of an international student is one of profound transformation. a testament to human resilience and the power of crossing boundaries in search of dreams. Through this research, I've learned that cultural adaptation isn't about losing yourself or completely transforming into someone new. Listening to the participants' stories, their adaptation consistently falls under integration, one of Berry's acculturation theory strategies. In fact, integration was the only Berry's acculturation strategy adopted throughout this documentary. It's about integration, the delicate art of honoring where you come from while embracing where you are.
So, how's your dissertation going?
It's stressful. I'm still struggling with the methodology part, and so I don't know how to get through all this. What do you think?
So it's like the lecturers actually advise us, do some research, look up databases, academic databases for reviews, articles that you could learn from. Just reach out to LDC, the Learning Development Center of the school. They are quite resourceful and helpful because when you reach out to them, they kind of help you from where you are. They'll give you all the support you need.
Okay, all right. I will look for it.
Stressful for you right now. So, respondents is really hard.
This is extreme.
Getting
So
surveys.
stressful.
Hey, God. I'm very good. Welcome.
Hey, pretty. How you doing?
Glasgow Caledonian University continues to welcome international students as contributors to a global community united by the common good.
So I'm just looking at methodology part. At what part you are on your dissertation?
I'm still in chapter 1.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to chapter 2 very soon. I'm trying to do the introduction and all that, then move on to chapter 2.
Okay, I brought some meat pies. Yeah, some meat pies.
Wow. I bring something as well.
Why are you confused? Why are you confused? This Pakistani girl. My current state, I believe, has been categorized and has been influenced by a lot of other decisions I've made. So I believe that now that I am finishing up, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking at industry opportunities that align with my experiences, what I've studied, and all that I have learned, both the people I have met who have been welcoming, those that have been otherwise, they've all contributed to make me who I currently am. So I am very optimistic of the future. I'm very optimistic of what the UK has in store for me. Getting a job, I believe that will come. And when it comes, I will be grateful. Working in the media industry, maybe as a content creator, maybe as a social media manager, or as a digital strategist, whatever comes, I know that my focus will be on impact, strategy, and education.
If I had a chance to do that again, I would do that again.
When I think about the future, I would say that I would always carry Glasgow with me. It's been a place where I've spent 6 years in, and I've came across a lot of people that were not from here that have come to hate Glasgow, to say that because of the weather, because they weren't feeling like they belonged. They always carried this bad feeling about Glasgow. I feel like at some point in my life, Glasgow will be a chapter for me that I want to close because I don't see myself staying here forever. But I'll never have a bad feeling or reputation about Glasgow because it was the place where I've lived 6 years of my life, and despite all the negative sides of it, the fear of rejection, the struggling with finding a job, struggling to find new friends, it still has given me my independence, and I've learned how to live by myself, to sustain myself And I've grew with Glasgow, so I will never carry it as a bad experience, just as an experience that was positive on most sides and negative on some of it, but has taught me so much that I will carry with me forever, wherever I go.
Ciao, caro.
Non ti vedo. Ciao, mamma.
It's always a pleasure to speak with my parents because I miss them a lot, and my mom really cares for me to call them every night so they can see my face.
Anch'io. Ciao.
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 Hi, I'm so happy to be graduating today, and today is like one of the happiest days of my life because it signifies a very huge milestone in my life, and I'm really just happy. And I got an award today as well, so yeah, I'm very proud of myself. Thank you.
Each person I met had found their own way of balancing their heritage with their new Scottish identity. They kept their languages, their foods, their traditions, while also learning to navigate Glasgow streets, understand Scottish humour, and build new communities. For these students, the journey was worth it. They hadn't just survived cultural adaptation, they had mastered the art of integration, creating richer, more complex versions of themselves. And in documenting their stories, I had undergone my own process of integration, understanding not just their experiences, but the universal human capacity to grow while staying rooted.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That was nice.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on the show.
The pleasure is all mine. I am very glad and honored that you think that I should share my journey with you guys.
That was a wrap. That was a wrap.
Nice.
Thank you so
It's a
much.
pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.